You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, I'm Les Brown. I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to reach out to positive people. People have goals and dreams, and people who are taking care of their business. I want to talk about how to focus on you and how to make your life AI proof. And I'm going to do something very special. Particularly, I want people who've been laid off from their job. I want to do something with y'all because I want to share with you things I learned and things I had to do. I've been fired 3 different times. And so I know what it's like when you lose your job and you got bills coming at you and you're figuring, hey, how am I going to deal with this? Okay. Uh, that this is a very disruptive time. People are working on jobs and they're hearing about artificial intelligence is going to replace over 360 million jobs. And so they're worried, will I lose my job? Their relatives and friends have lost their jobs. And I want to talk to you about not only if you have lost your job, but if you were in a job like over 70% of people that they don't like it, that they have mixed emotions. They don't like the job, but they're praying that they don't get fired. Okay. It's like seeing somebody you hate drive off a cliff in your car. You glad they're gone, but not in my car. But I want to share a few moments with you. When you look at Wesley, my twin brother and I, born in poverty, I want to talk to you about how to make it against the odds. And the reason that I want you to see this and think about this, we were born in the segregated South. Last hired, first fired. Very hostile, mean spirited environment. And this is where we are again, history repeating itself. And so I want you to like this page and share it. I have something that I know that's going to be of value to you. I'm 80, so I know a thing or two. I've seen this before, and I'm going to share with you how when you look at Wesley and I, we're eating sugar cane. Most of y'all don't know nothing about sugar cane. Millenniums don't know anything about sugar cane, but some of y'all do. If you know something about sugar cane, let me see some hearts or some thumbs up or something. All right. And so I want to talk to you about how my brother, who's a military hero, Purple Heart, served 2 tours in Vietnam and the Persian Gulf, and how I went from there that vision there in Overton, Ohio, Overton, Ohio, and Overtown, Miami. Some of us call it Overton, some of us call it Overtown. But how coming from there, being in foster care, being adopted, labeled educable, mentally retarded, failing twice in school, how I went from there to here with world-class speakers. Stephen Covey, who wrote the book 7 Qualities of Highly Effective People. Brian Tracy, who's an icon in the self-development area. Tony Robbins, who's standing behind me. Darren Hardy, and Dr. Dennis Waitley, who wrote the book, The Psychology of Winning. Right now, I'm encouraging you to focus on you. Like this page and share it. Reach out to some like-minded people. This is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. This is for the few that can hear my voice. I know everybody can't hear my voice. I'm looking for those of you that have listened to me for the past 53 years. Some of you are young, teeny weenies. Y'all know me. You know my voice. Say, that's got to be Mamie Brown's boy, Les Brown. I want to share something with you because this is a special place. Because even though being born in poverty in the segregated South and going through all the stuff that we went through, this space is different. How's it different, Les? Well, when I was a kid, you only had access to 3 things or sources of information. They said in order to determine adulthood is the difference between what children are exposed to and what adults are exposed to. These young people, they're exposed to everything. Everything. We had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Just 3 channels. I remember when we would go off at 11 o'clock. Now they got everything. Okay, they got everything. I've got one of my great-grandchildren can't even read. and you can barely talk, but can work on one of those little tablets. Okay, and so this is different space that we are victims of behavioral marketing algorithms and the messages, subliminal messages that you can't see with the naked eye, but it goes straight to your subconscious mind. So I want to talk to you right now because there a lot of people need to know this is not the end of the story. All the stuff that's happening against us politically, everyday people, the powers that be that are committed to help the rich get richer and the poor stay poor, don't worry about it. Don't focus on that. You want to focus on not the reality that's going on. You've got to focus on the reality that you are determined to create. And I'm speaking from a place of knowingness. I've been speaking for 53 years. I want you to take some notes on stuff. By the way, Midland, Texas, those of you who live in Midland, Texas area, well, I'm going to be at the Bush Center. And I tell you, it's going to be a great experience. Ed Milet, he's going to be there, the Alpha Omega Leadership Conference called Focus From Here to There. And I'm going to be one of the keynote speakers. And then I'm going to be in Orlando, September the 21st through the 23rd with the Ultimate Wealth Camp. And that's with Bill Wash. It's going to be great. I want you to write this down. UWC360.com. UWC360.com. And you get some free tickets. They gave me around 20 tickets to give away. But I want you right now to think about some goal that you want to achieve. And I want you to focus on that. Now, I'm not where most of you are. I'm different, okay? I'm focusing on who I need to be and what I need to do to make it from here to 95 to from here to 85 to 90 and then to 100 and beyond, okay? I say, what are you talking about, Les? My number one goal and dream is about taking care of my health, taking care of me. A person with their health, they have 1,000 dreams. A person without their health, they have only one, and that is to get better. And so I want to ask you a question. What's your strategy for being here? I got a game plan not to be a burden to my children. They don't owe me anything. They didn't ask to be here. And so I'm taking care of the 85-year-old Les Brown, the 90-year-old Les Brown. This is my anti being a burden to my children. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to wipe my own behind. I'm reading about this little, I'll never forget Mrs. Williams. I said, Mrs. Williams, how you doing? And at that time, she was around 95. She said, baby, I went to the bathroom by myself and not on myself. I remember I was younger. I would go to parties and go in and be looking for the ladies. Now I go someplace and it's real crowded. We have to speak. I'm looking for the nearest restroom. Oh, behave. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna be good. I promise I'm gonna be good. Okay. I'm encouraging you, have a strategy. And there are things that I want you to write this down. Focus. Focus on you. Focus on your mental well-being, emotional regulation. We're living in a time where crazy has become the new normal. People fighting over parking spaces or a position in line in the grocery store, road rage, all kind of stuff. I read where this guy shot this young lady, went on a date with her. And guess why he shot her? Because she wouldn't let him smell her feet. Come on now. Come on. Are you kidding me? So a guy kills someone in a fast food place because they put too much mayonnaise on their sandwich. Come on. There are people just ready to snap. And I want those of you that understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to do some events selectively. I'm not going to say where they are because I don't want the crazies showing up. I don't want everybody at my place. No, I just want the people that's a part of my tribe, the people that can hear my voice, the people that have goals and dreams. I'm looking for people who've lost their job or on a job that's not them, and they want to learn, what did I need to do to rebuild my life? I can tell you how to do that, because I know what it's like when you're in a state of shock, when you've lost your job. You didn't expect it. You didn't see it coming, like over 300,000 African-American women, and you have to start all over again. So right now, it's about focusing on you, not engaging in conversations with people about what happened. Nobody cares what happened to you. They got their own stuff. And if it's really bad stuff, they're glad it's you and not them. It's focusing on what I need to do to protect my peace, to take care of myself, to live a life that matters. And that focus, disciplining your thinking, that's very important now. Very important. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And I know this to be true. I know this. I don't believe this. I know this to be true. Because when I look back at my life, life is lived going forward, but we learn from it looking back. Everything that I have gone through has prepared me for now. Everything has contributed to me being who I am now. In life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. So you were born and preserved for such a time as this. I can't say that enough. When you think about where I had to go from to be up on stage and be among the top global speakers on the planet. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you, you don't know enough about yourself to be a critic. You've got abilities and talents that most of us never reach for. Why? Because we weren't educated. We are being programmed for a life of mediocrity and stay in your place. That's what that whole theme, make America great again. Are you kidding me? No. Don't even worry about these slogans. Here's what I'm encouraging you to do. Focus on your greatness. Be hungry for your greatness. Hungry for develop yourself and find out what matters, what gives your life a purpose and meaning. Focus on that. That's most important right now. And it's challenging. You have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to keep the main thing, and that's you. Ain't got nothing to do with no Epstein files. Has nothing to do with what's going on in the economy. It all has to be with you. What are you going to do? That has nothing to do with all the political voices and the divisiveness that's going on. All of it. It has nothing to do with bring the fans out and boots and all the shouting and buck dancing they're doing in churches. It's about focusing on you. Here I am, Lord. Send me. You were sent here. You were deployed. There's something in you that you're supposed to do. So what is it you want? How do you see your life now? I was talking to a young man yesterday, and I asked him, how do you see yourself 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You know what he said? I haven't thought about it. Is that right? I said, you're not going to be young forever. I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now that I'm 80, and it went like this. Life is, people say life is short. No, it's not short. It's just that too many people take so long to become enlightened to start living. And there's a difference between surviving and living. And when you are in a culture that say that you don't matter, when you're in a culture where you are demonized and dismissed, where you're in a culture that is designed to hold you down and keep the masses fighting each other. Yeah, you wake up one day and say, oh my God, you look in the mirror and you don't know this person who's looking back at you. Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. Focus on you. Now, what does the next chapter of your life look like? Because what we're going through right now, this is not the end of the story. No. You have something special. You have greatness in you. I didn't know that I can do what I'm doing now. Being labeled educable mentally retarded. Just discovered just 3 years ago who my birth parents were from Gainesville, Georgia. Never saw a picture of my father or mother until 3 years ago. And so it's called life. This is the time. Weapons of distraction, mass distractions are being administered every day. And I'm encouraging you, get still. There's an assignment for you. You were deployed. There's something in you. There's something you've got, a dream, ability, a voice, a story, some experiences that you've had that somebody's ready to take themselves out. But because of you, and they heard your voice, they decide they want to live. There's a business in you. There are young people now creating businesses, becoming entrepreneurs and global voices. Cheryl Wood, just talking to her, been speaking now for 15 years, celebrating her 15th year in the speaking industry. Very talented and gifted young lady. Andy Enriquez, a powerful, my brother, he's my spiritual son, up in here. Johnny Wimbrey, I got a Kevin Bracey, I got a lot of them out here. And they're making a difference. They're changing lives. They're living life on their terms. What does an ideal life look like for you? What does that look like? I love to travel. I don't do it as much now because there's just too many crazy people on these airplanes. I was in the shopping mall here in Atlanta, and somebody had heard a popping sound, and people started running. And I asked myself, should I be joining them? And I said, I can't run as fast as I used to at 80, and I don't want to trip and people trample me, And so I said, what should I do? And something just said, be still and know you'll be all right. Get under the table. This is a crazy time. Our kids are not safe in school. They have not fire drills. They have drills in the event a killer is in the building. That's not normal. And so you want to position yourself to win. Here's part of focusing on you. Invest in yourself. When you look at what does it take for you to make your life AI proof? AI proof your life by continuously learning. Peter Drucker said we must unlearn, learn, and relearn. What do you mean? You must unlearn the things that you have learned over the years because they're not applicable today. They're obsolete. Their people have the capacity to win, but they are trying to open up new doors of opportunity with antiquated, aged, old ideas and an old mindset. So you got to learn continuously, continue to grow. A man's reach is to supersede its grasp, or what are the heavens for? And so I used to have people come to me and say, how did you get to become among the top 5 speakers in the world? How did you get to win the Golden Gavel Award from Toastmasters International? How were you able to be inducted into the National Speakers Association Hall of Fame? By investing in myself, by focusing on me. I want you to write this down. Sacrifice. I remember Martha Jean the Queen out of Detroit, Michigan, and I built my business in Detroit in the Penobscot building, 21st floor. She had a speech I loved called, "Do you really want to win?" Now, well, most people say, of course. No, that's not true. Because most people are not willing to do the work. Most people not willing to grind. Most people not willing to hustle. Most people are willing to just settle and talk about who's the GOAT. And it's about now making you and your life. Life has no duplicate, a priority. Talents, abilities, and skills in you. All of us are born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. It's time to focus on your stuff. Here's a book I encourage you to get. It's by Mike Williams called The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff. 2.0. I wrote the forward for it. He saw this, Les Brown, before I saw him. I didn't even know that I had the ability to do what I'm doing, but he saw me. See, you need people around you who see you, not around you to use you. There's some people that they're always there when they need you, but you need people in your life who see the real you. See, you can't see the picture, you in the frame. And he said, Brownie, man, you better than being a disc jockey. At that time, I was at WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. You talk to people in Columbus, Ohio about Les Brown. They say, oh, yeah, Les Brown. Yeah, he used to be Les Brown no matter about town. Those my pre-saved years, okay? Focus on you. Read 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. Why? Because there's so much poison diluting our thinking and blurring our vision. You want to listen to things that will feed your spirit. You have to call out the greatness that you have within you. You were chosen for this moment, for this time. Now, not only focusing on you, but here's something else: faith. Man's belief in God is measured by his belief in himself. Break it down, Les. You know, don't you see people, you go online, they got so many new ways to shout today. It's unbelievable. And you can tell the way they dress. They dress to be seen, and many of them have a little handkerchief. They wave it. They doing their little dance and stuff. Yeah. Religion and politics have always been used to control the masses. I'm saying to you, believe that your life has meaning. Believe that even God had all kind of choices, that he chose you for the greater work. When people were tripping about the miracles that Jesus performed, he said, these things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. We are here to do the greater work. Believe that. There's some stuff in you, abilities and talents that you have in you, that if you don't come to the place within yourself that you have the faith and belief in yourself, that your life has meaning and purpose, and you're willing to fail again and again and again, you're willing to be rejected, you're willing to go through all kind of things in this thing called life. If you don't have a belief in yourself, you'll give up. And Martha Jean's question, do you really want to win? Why? I had to answer that question. Yes. When I was sleeping on the floor of the Penobscot building and bathing in the sink down the hall. Yes. Do you really want to win? When I was calling friends and say, I'm in town and can I come there and can you hold me for 2 or 3 nights? And I slept on their couch. Do you really want to win? When I slept in my car going from city to city to build a national brand. Everybody's not willing to do it. No. Most people not willing to sacrifice. No. When you go from 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint. That's how we're taught the road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it. That's why we're taught, therefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And this is where we are. Stand on your faith. Stand on your confidence and your abilities and your skills and answering the calling on your life. Stand on the belief that you are meant for more, that you don't have to settle. And what people think about you is none of your business. Yeah. You have so much going for you. There's another dimension of yourself that you don't even know. They asked Winston Churchill, if you had a choice throughout history to be anyone and had the ability to come back, who would you like to be, Winston? You know what he said? He said, I like to become the man I never was. Whoa. I know, and you know, if I had my life to live over again, I could have done more than what I've done. There are times in my life I parked. There are times in my life I was crazy. I know about crazy. I remember a guy at King Twitty. He pulled a gun on me. And I said, shoot, sucker, shoot. And he panicked, and I walked up to him and grabbed him by his afro and slapped his head up against the wall. This is my crazy time. My cousin Boo, when he was driving me home, he said, Les, when he pulled the gun out, why in the hell would you tell him to shoot? I said, I don't know. I guess I lost it. And then he said, do I smell some pee? I had peed on myself. When I heard that gun click, it got stuck. And I was up on him then. Let me tell you, I can whoop some behind up in here. And I slammed grabbed that afro, and we're good friends now. I haven't seen him in a long time. Have you ever looked back at your life and you said, what was I thinking when I did that? What state of mind was I in when I gave myself permission to be a jackass, to be stupid? Yeah. Focus, faith, believing that you're meant for more, believing that your life matters, believing that regardless of the odds that you have comeback power. While everybody is doubting you, believing that you can do it. Focus, faith. Next thing is follow through. Procrastination is where dreams go to die. There's some things I'm going to still do before I leave here. I haven't done my best work. I haven't given my best speech. There are people that's my assignment that I'm supposed to train. Dr. Miles Monroe said, Les Brown, yes, there's no success without successors, brother. While we eating pigeon peas and rice and well, y'all don't know anything about pigeon peas and rice and conch salad. Y'all don't know nothing about that. And ball grouper, that's okay. It's a Bahamian dish, Nassau, Bahamas. And he's right. So this stage, I got people that I'm supposed to work with. That's my assignment before I leave here. That's my job. That's my assignment that I was deployed to be here. What's your assignment? You know, Mark Twain said the two most important days in our lives, the day that we are born and the day that we realize why we were born. You're listening to me because there's something in you that says, hey, wait a minute, I can resonate with him. He's saying some stuff that I've been believing and feeling, and he's confirming that. You're listening to me because of what's in me is also in you. And then there's another group out there, the majority of people, the masses that follow their hurts and the herd, who don't have any interest in what I'm doing. They're part of the Cat Williams and Shay Shay and all those other people that's out there. But my stuff is not for everybody. But for those of you, my sheep shall hear my voice. For those of you that can hear me, listen to me. You were born for greatness. Greatness and abundance is your birthright. And you got to know that. You got to look in the mirror and talk to yourself. I talk to myself. When I was diagnosed with 4th stage cancer, I had to talk to myself, constantly talk to my body. I thank God I'm healed every day in every way. I'm getting better and better. Thank you, Lord, for delivering me from the jaws of death. Thank you, Lord, for healing me. When they're talking about giving me palliative care, make him comfortable. Hell no, I got a fight on my hands. I don't care what you say. You're not God because you got a stethoscope around your neck and a white jacket. Like the doctor had, Dr. Alfred Golson. He said, I determine the diagnosis. You and God determines the prognosis, how long you're going to be here. You know that there are moments in your life that you were at a red light and something said, don't move. And you didn't. And had you driven out in there when the light turned green, you wouldn't be here. That you heard that voice. We've all had moments in our lives when we said, oh, if I had just listened to my first mind. Has it ever happened to you? Yes. Focus, faith, and follow through. Act on your ideas. How do I do it? Don't ask that question. What do you think? Why we were told walk by faith and not by sight? You don't need the answers to get started. but I don't know how to do it. So learn. Learn, put in the work, figure it out. I talked to one of my granddaughters. I said, baby, how are you doing in this new business that she's in? And I said, have you started building your network? Well, what do you think I should do, Grandpa? Get started. Start networking. Well, where will I go? I don't know. Figure that out. Your grandpa left Columbus, Ohio on a Greyhound bus, pursuing a dream after they fired me from WVKO radio station to pursue the next greatest version of myself. If you've lost your job, you've gone through foreclosure like I've gone through, you've gone through the pits of hell like I've gone through, listen to me. All of that is for your growth and development mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I know what I'm talking about. And you have to be hungry. The hungry dog gets the bone. You got to be relentless. You got to be unstoppable. You've got to be disciplined. You got to be focused and refuse to be denied. You got to have a goal and a purpose and a reason that's a non-negotiable. I said, Mama, I'm going to buy you a home. That was a non-negotiable. I was going to do that. This woman take care of 7 children she didn't give birth to? Oh, no. I'm going to take care of you. When I turn 18, Mama, I'm going to take care of you. Used to go to work with my mother on Miami Beach, cleaning these big, beautiful mansions. When I become a man, I'm going to take care of you. When I turn 18, you'll never pay another bill. And she didn't. I found a way. Whatever goal and dream you're working on, just get started. Start talking to people. Practice TTP. Talk to people. And if that doesn't work, practice TTMP. Talk to more people. You are one relationship. Listen to me. One relationship. If you make the commitment, you are one relationship from a new life. I'm telling you what I know. There's some magic about committing yourself and just going out and giving it everything you have. I used to travel the country speaking for the Dick Gregory Bahamian Diet. Oh my goodness. And I was in this meeting in Detroit, and a guy who heard me speak named Dr. Talmadge McKinney, he's an orthodontist. He said, can I see you after the program? I said, yes. He said, where are you staying? I said, well, I'm downtown at the YMCA. He said, you can come and stay at my house, me and Doris, his fiance at that time. He said, what are you doing? I said, well, my goal is to become a nationally known motivational speaker. He asked me, do you have a business plan? I said, no, I don't. You don't have a business plan? No. How are you going to do it? I said, I don't know. I spoke here, and I'm going to create another speaking engagement someplace else. I'll be at the Northwest Activity Center here. He woke me up at 4:30 in the morning. Listen to me. When you commit yourself, when you do what you can do, God will do what you can't do. He said, I need to talk to you. I said, what's up, man? What time is it? I think it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. He gave me an envelope. I opened up the envelope. Wow. It's $35,000 here. What do you want from me? He said, I want you to make it, man. I said, you don't know me. He said, I know, but God told me to help you. I said, I'll give you my word. I'll pay you back. I'll sign whatever you need me to sign. You don't have to sign anything. I believe in you. See, when you believe in yourself, you're going to create a magnetism about you that doors will be open. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is in the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. When you're willing to do the commitment, when you're willing to go all in, $35,000 cash from a stranger. And I was able to make my first million in 3 years, went back to pay him at $35,000 plus 20% interest, and he refused to take the interest. I know what I'm talking about. When you do what you can do, God will do what you can't do. I needed that. And I had my first office under the staircase in the building where his orthodontist business and practice was. And I went from there to the Penobscot building. Get busy, get started. These people ain't playing with us, and we shouldn't be playing with them. It ain't about them, it's about you. It's about activating the greatness that you have within you. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. I was my greatest enemy. I was working against myself, not using myself and my time and my talents productively. And I had to stop myself and push myself to make the right decisions and do the things that matter. If you understand what I'm saying, I want to see some signs. If you can feel me, because there's a lot of madness and craziness that's going on, and people are fearful. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Protect your mind, protect your peace. There's some stuff you don't need to see. You know, people, have you seen people driving by an accident? They'll stop and get out the car or slow down to see what happened. Who got hurt? No, you got time for that. It's so easy. Most people have a proclivity for focusing on things that entertain them. Call it escaping from the reality of deep being serious with their life. That's why there's so many fund me funerals. When a man dies, he's supposed to be leaving assets for his family, but most men, they die, they leave liabilities. You're listening to me because you know I'm coming for you. You know I see you, that you have greatness in you. You're listening to me because this is a conversation that I'm validating that you've been speaking to yourself. I can't tell you the nights that I stood and looking out the window of the Penobscot building, no furniture in my office, looking at other buildings with lights on and having furniture, saying to myself, one day this floor where I am right now, I won't be sleeping on. It will be fully furnished. And it was. Call forth those things that be not as though they were. Protect your peace. Watch your conversation. If you can't say something good about yourself, don't say nothing at all. You're going through a challenge, don't say I'm broke. No, I'm having a cash flow problem right now. Midland, Texas, I'm coming for y'all. Yes, I'm going to be in Midland, Texas at the Bush Center and the Ultimate Wealth Camp with my very good friend Bill Wash in Orlando shortly thereafter. Then I come back to Atlanta. I hope that what I've shared with you have some value. Now, here's something else. I'm going to leave this with you. This is a time that you want to develop a strategy, and I want you to write this down because you haven't heard it. Brand up. Say what? Brand up. What do you mean by that? When Barack Obama was endorsed by Colin Powell, that gave him a large audience, more credibility, and trust. When Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the author of the book, The Power of Positive Thinking, when he said Les Brown has a rare gift as a speaker, and when he and I took a picture together and I went to seminars and workshops and we spoke together and I opened for him, that increased my brand and my credibility. You want to brand up. You earned within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. This has been proven scientifically. When I found that out, I got all the broke people out of my life. You don't want to be around them. Come out from among them. Come out from among them. Don't try and change them. Come out. It takes everything in you to change yourself because life is stalking you. Sickness, accidents, all kinds of things are stalking us every day. When I wake up in the morning and I'm in my right mind, everything else is gravy. Okay, Lord, you got me up. I got this. You can count on me. I'm here for you. I'm going to do your work. The party days are behind me. No, you're here for God's work, to do the greater work. Well, I don't have that kind of confidence in myself. You don't need to. You need courage. I remember spending a whole day with Maya Angelou in her home in North Carolina, and she said, Mr. Brown, there's nothing as important as courage. It took courage for me to decide I was going to be on the stage with these guys, and there was no one up there that looked like me. It took courage for me to decide I was going to compete with people that had PhDs and MBAs and years of corporate experience that I did not have. I had to talk to myself. It took courage when I was at Procter & Gamble and people had their PowerPoint presentations and computers, and I had a roll-up cardboard visual aid, and I put it in the bathroom, and I went in the bathroom and talked to myself and said, Les Brown, no, you don't have the computers. No, you don't have the PowerPoint presentations. You don't have that stuff, but you got yourself. You're Mamie's boy. You got this. And when I walked in that room at Procter & Gamble, they said, Mr. Brown, where's your PowerPoint presentation, sir? Sir, I am the PowerPoint. And I got the contract. And I subcontracted with the other people that were there that had all the education. Okay? Don't estimate yourself. You got greatness in you. You're here for a reason. And you have to get serious about this thing called life. Midland, Texas. Mamie Brown's baby boy and Dorothy Bell Rucker's pride and joy is coming there. The Bush Center. Spread the word. And the group here, let me get my Walgreen glasses. It's called Focus From Here to There, Alpha Omega Leadership Conference. And then Orlando, my very good friend Bill Wash, Ultimate Wealth Camp. And write this down, uwc360.com, uwc360.com. They're going to give around 20 complimentary tickets. I want to leave this quote with you. I love quotes. This is by Jim Rohn. And the quote is, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. That'll make you grunt. You have something special. Thank you for your time. You have greatness in you. I'd like to have your comments of what I shared. And if it resonates with you, and if you have some skills on how to get people in the room, I'm going to start doing a variety of events everywhere. If you have skills or part of an organization that has an interest in self-development, I'm going to do a variety of self-development seminars. You have skills to promote and market, reach out to me, lesbrown77@gmail.com. And if you have technological skills, AI skills, and know how to leverage and do marketing through artificial intelligence, I'm looking to hire some folks up in here. Reach out to me, lesbrown77@gmail.com. And keep in mind, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Oh, behave. Bye for now. I enjoy myself. Okay, you turn off now.